Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Garlaanx here bringing you a new Neverwinter video. And today, as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about the new Greed of the Dragonflight. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Dragonflight, this is a Stronghold event that came back out in 2015, if I recall. A very long time ago. It's one of the original events in the game, is Greed of the Dragonflight. So it revolved around strongholds. It was a guild-related event. You had to do it in your stronghold. So again, if you're unfamiliar with that, then maybe this might be the first time you're ever doing it. Essentially, in the stronghold, 4 dragons spawn. You have to kill all 4 dragons simultaneously. Bickety bang, you get rewarded. Now, back then, that was fine. Dragonflight, specifically Elemental Dragonflight, used to be best in slot. It was the best in slot armor in the game. So here we are again. Now, I'm not going to go on a rant in this video. I'm going to have a separate video talking about my opinions of this. This video is just going to be showing you the gear and what's going on, etc. So if we go ahead and just jump right into that, go down to the strongholds, and we have the reinforced Dragonflight gear. Again, it's just Dragonflight gear, guys, so they've updated it a little bit, and let's go ahead and go through it. So you have the headpiece, is 1400 item level, and what we care about is the set bonus on this gear. So the set bonus is 5000 HP and 3000 power, and you have to wear at least 3 pieces of it. Alright? So we'll just hover over these. I'm not going to go over individual stats. Alright, now let's look at the rings. Because there is a whole bunch of new legendary rings. And some of the effects I don't necessarily agree with, but it is what it is. They're mostly all the same. Now, these are 1600 item level. Your accuracy and critical severity are increased by 3000, but you have to be moving. Okay? So as long as you're moving, I'm assuming 3 seconds of movement, you're going to get 3000 accuracy, crit severity. This one is your power is increased by 5% again when you're moving. Your deflection is increased 5%. Incoming healing 5%. Your current hit points increase your critical severity up to a maximum of 5%. Now, you're going to say, wait a second, we just got a Mythic Ring that goes up to 7%, I believe, for critical strike. So now this is a critical severity one that goes to 5%. Critical strike and forte are increased by 3000. Combat advantage and power by 3000. When you stand still for 6 seconds, control bonus by 10%. Crit severity by 5%. Incoming healing and critical avoidance by 3000. When you stand still for 6 seconds, defense and movement speed for 10%. Your current hit points increase your accuracy by 5%, so we have an accuracy and a critical severity one. At will encounters do 3% more damage, daily powers do 30% less. Powers deal 2% more damage when you're 50 meters or away. Your powers deal 1.5% more damage when you're 25 meters or closer. Powers deal 2% more damage when you're at 50% or further away. Well, I think these are recycled, right? Yeah, they just have different stats, right? This one's outgoing, healing. Yeah, because the last couple of these all actually have the same powers, or the same effect, rather. They just have different statistics. And then they have some epic ones, and then as well as some shirt and pants here. The pants gain recharge speed as your health decreases to a maximum of 5%. And the shirt is when your stamina is over 75%, your powers increase by 5,000 for shirt and pants. And then there's a couple epic rings in here as well. I don't care about epic rings. So the thing that piques my interest the most is that right here,
Open a Dragonflight surprise bag for a chance to gain rings, shirts, pants, artifacts, and other wonderful trinkets. And if you hover over the bag, it says rough AD, random dragon parts, level 20 Dragonflight gear, mount and companion. So what piques my interest is that you guys all know that I collect mount skins. I have like 98% completion of every mount in the game. Is this going to be a new mount skin exclusively to Dragonflight? Is this a new companion exclusively to Dragonflight? Or is it all just randomized? Is there going to be a set pool of mounts and or companions that you can pull? Another thing is that you can directly get level 20 Dragonflight gear from this bag. Otherwise, you're going to have to buy it the old way, which I'm going to show you guys. And the rings come from this bag. The rings you cannot buy. It's RNG. You do have to get the rings out of this bag. I don't really necessarily care about the rings. I care about, is it a new mount skin, etc. So it says it contains a variety of trinkets that Traveling Wizard has collected from fallen dragons, earned from completing a Greed of the Dragonflight quest once per day. So you can only do this once a day, guys. And let me just put that in retrospect here for you. You can only do this quest once a day, but you can't solo this. This isn't a solo event. You're most likely going to have to gather at the minimum 20 people, let's say. There's going to be 4 dragons. They spawn in 4 different locations. Let's just say you only put one group of 5 players at every spawn point. That's 20 people. So now you're going back to the old days of 20-man raids, essentially. Trying to put those together in a dying game is not going to be very pleasant. And the fact that you have to do this, well, I mean, you don't have to, but once a day. So I don't necessarily agree with this. This should have been like a better reward pool for like a weekly quest or something. Once every day is not going to cut it. I mean, it's going to be a struggle for lower end players or newer players to even do the event, most likely, because I'm assuming the event has substantially increased in difficulty. So yeah, they basically removed the old dragons, and now that we have these dragon hunts, they took the dragon hunt dragons and have put those in the Greed of the Dragonflight. So all of those knockback takedowns, stuns, dazes, all of that stuff that you guys have dealt with in the dragon hunts in Module 23, that's Greed of the Dragonflight now, and you have to kill 4 of them all at the same time. We don't know how much HP. Can someone solo it? Are you only going to need 4 people? I doubt it. They're probably on par with, let's say, the ancient dragons, because you can solo the adult dragons. I can solo adult dragons. That means other classes can solo adult dragons. But the ancient dragons are a lot more harder. They hit harder, etc. They're also scaled. Remember, dragon hunts are scaled. You're not scaled in your stronghold. So if you're 80,000 item level, you're going to have, the full bonus of all your statistics. So unless they scale the event itself, which I doubt they will do. So there's a lot of factors in play here. And I'm curious to see how the overall rework is going to go. Now, again, you start, if you're unfamiliar, you start this quest with the Traveling Wizard. Now, this guy shows up once every 2 hours. Now, whether or not they're changing that or not, you used to need a item, a reagent, that can only be bought from the Zen store, which was a golden bell. The golden bell would start Greed of the Dragonflight whenever you wanted. So if you wanted to farm it, you could buy 20 bells off the Zen store and literally do 20 runs of Dragonflight back to back to back. Otherwise, you had to wait every 2 hours. He only spawns once every 2 hours. So whether or not they changed that, I don't know. But right now, golden bells were already removed out of the game. So what's it costing you now? It's going to cost 2,500 guild marks to start this. Again, can you spawn him as many times as you want, indefinitely, as long as you have the guild marks. As long as someone has guild marks, can you just spawn this back to back to back to back and farm this indefinitely? I don't personally know all the details yet. I don't know if any PC players, I know a lot of PC players made videos on this already, but I don't know if anyone has actually gotten footage of it, if it's even on preview. Keep in mind, we are on preview, guys. Things are subject to change before release, etc. But golden bells were removed. Now it just costs 2,500 guild marks. Now, again, if you're unfamiliar with Dragonflight, I forget the limitation on the stronghold, but you need a stronghold of like level 8 to get the outfitter to even unlock and come. I could be wrong. Someone can correct me in the comment section. It could have also just been changed throughout the years, but at one point it was a requirement. You had to have at least a guild level 8 to even have this NPC. Now, whether or not that's changed, I don't know. The game's been out for 9 years, guys. I can't remember everything. You're looking for the tab right here, Dragonflight. So this is all the gear and what it's going to be, how much is it going to cost, etc. It's practically all the same prices as the old Dragonflight gear. So the helmets are 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. It looks like everything's 8,000. So this was actually changed because I know the chest plate used to be 12,000. And these are all guild marks. So these all cost guild marks, as well as Seal of the Adventurer. Now the seals are irrelevant. You should be maxed out on them, or they're easy to obtain at least. Now the currency coming in for the Greed of the Dragonflight is the Fang of the Dragonflight, and these are going to drop from the event. We don't know exactly how many we're going to get for doing the event. Are we still going to get the boxes that we used to get from Dragonflight? So back in the original event, if you completed all 4 dragons, I believe you were rewarded 3 fangs for completing the event. However, it also dropped the box. If you had strong box keys, which are only obtainable by purchasing via Zen Market, you were able to open the box for another additional 2 fangs. So you could get a total of 5 fangs per run if you were willing to spend the extra Zen to open, these pay-to-win boxes, essentially. So yeah, 36 fangs for the helmet, the chest, 24 fangs for the arms and the boots. Again, you cannot buy the rings. The rings are not in here. If you go into the accessories, this is, I believe, all the old accessories. These aren't even new. So the armor is the new stuff. The reinforced is the new stuff. I showed you guys the statistics. Again, those rings, if you want one of those rings, you are going to have to farm it, and you can only do it once a day. So, yeah, good luck with all that, I guess. Just for purposes of the video, we'll toss this stuff on here. Come on. There we go. And unfortunately, it is the same graphics as the old Dragonflight. So they didn't even upgrade the graphics. So I will have an opinionated video on all of this. I didn't want to tie the 2 videos together because I have a lot to say about this. So this is just a preview of the new Greed of Dragonflight. It's now called Reinforced Dragonflight Armor. We'll see how hard the event is, etc., and all that happy-go-lucky stuff. But just a quick little preview video of the new Dragonflight. And again, I'm not sure when it's going to go live or whatnot. There's still a lot of unknowns. Again, like I said, I'm curious personally just to see what this daily quest is. And if, in fact, it is a new mount skin, is it a new companion? I already looked in the collections, and there isn't anything new in the collections that would indicate that it's going to be a new mount skin. But you never know with Cryptic. So it could be a new mount skin, or it could just be a random green mount or a random green companion. We just don't know as of yet. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to look out for my opinionated video. It's probably going to come out the following day of whenever this one gets released. So, yeah. That's all I got for you today. I'll see you guys real soon.